Howdy. Hello, hello. Ooga booga. Higurashi today. The spooky cicadas. Hello there. Man, really is spooky, huh? Let me drink some water. Alright. You know, before I started stream, I was trying to think about, like, if I should use the new or the old sprites, you know? I'm still not sure. Updated or original? 'Cause, you know, the updated is like, you know, it's newer, right? So it'll look nicer. But then I feel like maybe I should play with the original. Just for the experience, you know? So, I think I will do original. Yeah. Then, should I just start now, I wonder? Let me check something really quickly. Hang on, just a second. My whole model just moved over. Wait, hang on. A friend just mentioned. Oh my god. I had a coffee shop and a car just caught on fire. Oh my god, what? Alright. Actually, maybe I'll get some more water first before I start. Hang on just 1 second. Yeah, Notif Gang! Let's go! Wahoo! Ready to be spooked? Also, there's like, you have a choice between updated graphics, like updated sprites, and the original sprites. But I decided to go with the original, so they may look a little unconventional. But I feel like, I should do the original for the experience, But I'm just gonna go from the beginning. Even though apparently I got to chapter 7 when I was first playing it, but that was back in 2020, I think. Yeah. Onikakushi, opening. Welcome to the world of higurashi when they cry. The Onikakushi arc will be the opening, inviting you to this world. Don't play tough. Please just enjoy life in Hinamizawa to the fullest. The difficulty is extremely high, but I hope you will enjoy the reward. Okay. That was a little unsettling. Please not lament. I will forgive you even if the world will not forgive you. Even if you will not forgive the world. So please tell me, what will it take for you to forgive me? Frederica Berncastel. Do I click? No, it's going. Okay. I was kind of scared to... the sound effects. Oh. It's flattering. I was going to be ripped apart anyways. Having my body ripped apart would have been far better. I trusted her. No, I still trust her. Even in this very moment, I trust her. But I'm starting to realize I only wanted to trust her because I refused to accept the truth. It was as if I was trying to convince myself in such a silly, sobbing voice, and those tears making a mess of my face. That mechanical, repetitive sound finally stilled, and everything fell silent. Only the cry of the cicadas remained, annoyingly loud, and yet I felt as if I could still hear her voice. But that's not possible. She's no longer speaking. The only one crying is me. She never cried. Even when she repeated those words over and over, she never expressed any emotion because there were none to show. If she had no tears were shed for me, then I shouldn't need to shed any for her. Sorry, my stream keeps cutting out. Aw, that's unfortunate. Then why? This pain, my eyes getting moist. Why was this happening? I still wanted to believe I hadn't been split apart. That's enough, right? Inside me, an inner voice whispered gently. Good night, have fun getting spooked. Alright, see you. Thanks for coming for a bit. My spirit had suffered enough, and countless times I'd wavered over whether I should just throw the battered thing away. Except, I've stubbornly refused to do that, haven't I? I'd feel better if I just threw it away. Even knowing that, I chose to believe, didn't I? Only I can understand that painful struggle and appreciate it. Hey, me. I've tried more than enough. I'll acknowledge that much. So, isn't it alright to just take the easy way out? Besides, I'm not throwing it away. I'm leaving it behind with her. Like flowers by a grave. Now then, calm your nerves. Even though you can't feel your right arm, just lift it up. And with every swing, forget a little more. That kindness made me happy. What horrors will we encounter today? That adorable smile brought me joy. I liked petting your head pat. I loved how demure you were. Because this will be the last time. Because when I swing this down, I'll forget. This is my first and last bouquet for you. What is going on? Yeah, well, it just kind of threw us into this at the very start. Perhaps I really did love you. Alright, well, here we go. What a start. Somebody has been apologizing for a while now. I wonder what she's apologizing for. It felt wrong to eavesdrop, so I tried to ignore it. It had been a while since I'd last went to the city. I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. And this is a little loud, actually. Let me turn it down a bit. It had been a while since I'd last went to the city. Wait, no, I'd already read that. Oops. Wait, didn't I? Did I? I only returned to attend the funeral of a relative. Even though I'd lived there until last month, I found the bustle of the city to be overwhelming. The skyscrapers and the multi-lane roads, the melodious cacophony of the crosswalk. Even the campaign speeches blaring in front of the station felt nostalgic. The place where I live now isn't nearly as lively. It's only the chirping of locusts and the babbling of brooks, and the cry of the higurashi, the evening cicadas. Rather than making me feel lonely, that quietness had begun to instill a sense of serenity. There's nothing where I'm living now. I don't just mean that there aren't any burger joints. There aren't even vending machines, no music stores, no restaurants, and no arcades. Even an ice cream parlor would be unlikely. The nearest town has some stuff like that, but it's an hour away by bike. But come to think of it, it wasn't really a big deal. There were music stores and arcades and ice cream parlors, but it wasn't like I ever hung out at any of them. I had lived in the city for 10 years and never once been to an ice cream parlor. I should have gone at least once. It's only now that I'm starting to regret that a little. Somebody's still apologizing. Who is she apologizing to? She's apologized so much, so just forgive her already. There's no reason anyone should ever need to apologize so much. I started to feel a bit annoyed at whoever was refusing to forgive her. No matter how bad the mistake, there's nothing that can't be forgiven. There's no such thing as an irreparable mistake. You just need to be more careful next time. She's still apologizing, even now. Then, has she really done something that can't be fixed? I have no idea what she's done, but if it can't be fixed, then that's all the more reason to forgive her. No matter how much she apologizes, nothing will change. But even so, she keeps apologizing in such a heartbreaking voice. Hey you, the one she's apologizing to. Why don't you just go ahead and forgive her? She's apologizing in such a pathetic voice. Keiichi, we're almost there. Wake up. I was finally roused from my nap by my father's prodding. It seemed the train had reached its final stop. We'd spent hours riding everything from the bullet train to the local routes. It's hard to believe that the landscape beyond the window and the city I was in half a day ago were in the same country. No, that they were even from the same era. From there, we take a car deeper into the mountains. Past where the dense forest encroaching on the mountain road suddenly opened up. And there's the cicadas. There, where I live now, Hinamizawa. Even though we were approaching summer, the morning air still had a frigid bite. Although, in exchange, you could fill your lungs up with crisp, clean air. Flipping open the window, I was greeted with a verdant expanse. Nothing but trees. The neighboring house was far away on the other side, so I was probably the only one enjoying that view and that air. I filled my lungs with another deep breath. Since I had started living in Hinamizawa, I learned that even air had its own taste. Oh, some jazzy music. I quickly finished getting ready for school and headed downstairs for breakfast. My mother was the only one there. My father was nowhere to be seen. He was probably up working until the early morning. Dad had a rather unconventional job as a painter. It's such a laid-back profession. Get up when you want, sleep when you want, and work when you want. I was so jealous of that easygoing lifestyle. I feel like being a painter is not easygoing, doing art as your job, but anyways. I even wrote for school that I wanted to be a painter when I grew up. Dad was ecstatic about that. It was just because it looked easy. I'd never tell him that, though. Painter easy going what? I know, right? Also, I think I forgot to say earlier, but hi, June! What's up? Mom laid breakfast out on the table. Seaweed, pickled vegetables, raw egg, and grilled salmon. My mom was such a good cook, it was scary. A perfect, immaculate, ideal breakfast. Hello. Unlike my dad, who didn't even know the meaning of the word schedule, my mom never squandered any time or effort. She hummed a little tune as she brought over the miso soup. It seemed like she was in a good mood today. I'm so happy you've been waking up early ever since we moved here, Keiichi. If I don't wake up early, if I don't wake up early, I won't have time to eat breakfast. I thought I was being cute, responding with a wisecrack after being praised for being good. Full bowl of rice, or will half be enough? Pile it on. First, I savored the steaming hot rice with the seaweed. After that, I covered it with the egg. Between bites of rice, I enjoyed the crunch of the pickles. Not bad at all. Excellent as usual. Watching me clean my plate, Mom gave me a warm smile. I'm so happy you haven't skipped breakfast ever since we moved here, Keiichi. I was not a morning person when we lived in the city. I slept right until the last minute before school and rarely ate breakfast. Boycotting the breakfast Mom made me each morning. That was probably the only way I could protest being forced to attend cram school. I guess that was what you'd call my rebellious phase. I wouldn't so much as look at the breakfast she woke up early every day to make. If I could go back in time, I'd slap myself. Yeah. Mindful of the time, Mom mushed me along with a wide grin. Isn't it about time to meet up with Rena-chan? Hurry, hurry. Mom really seemed to enjoy the fact that her son was going to school with a girl. Oh! Going to school with a girl? Rena is one of my classmates. She really loves looking after people, coming to meet me every day without fail. The way I looked at it, a guy my age walking to school with a girl was just lame. But, well, keeping a classmate waiting for me every day wouldn't be very considerate. Seriously though, how long does Rena wait there for me every morning? Taking one last gulp of miso soup, I raced for the door. Water, hang on. Please thank Rena-chan for the pickles! Come to think of it, those pickles weren't store-bought, were they? If I'd have known that, I would have savored them a bit more. Morning! Oh? I don't think you were here when I was talking about it, but you could choose between the updated art and like the original art when the game was like first released. But I decided to go with the original art for the, you know, for the experience. So they look kind of interesting, you know? Honestly, I think they look fine though. I saw people complaining about like the old art, saying it looked terrible. But I feel like it's kind of cute, you know? Anyways. Keiichi-kun, good morning! Her cheerful greeting was as fresh as the morning itself. You're always so early. You should try sleeping in sometime. If I sleep in, I'll keep you waiting. It's so early 2000s, haha. It really is. Even the updated art is like, I guess it's more late 2000s, but you can still tell, you know, the era it was made in. She's so conscientious and such a good person. If that ever happens, I'll just leave you behind. Keiichi-kun, you're so cold. I wait for you all the time. I'll leave you in the dust, without looking back. Why are you so mean? Why? Rena had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her is rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed. I'm kidding, I'd wait for you. With those words, Rena seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red. Thank you! I'd wait forever until you came, Rena. No matter how long. Forever. Nana turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. What an odd thing to say in the morning. Yeah. Have you ever read a romance novel, Nana? Huh? I haven't. Never read any before. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them, but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. Oh yeah, a message from Mom. She says thanks for the pickles. It was nothing. You're welcome. How are they? Not too salty? They weren't that salty. Actually, they had a pretty light flavor to them. It would have been fine to just be honest and say they were good, but apparently I couldn't be that forthright. I'd like to ask something before that. Were you the one who pickled them, Dena? Or was it your mom? Huh? Why do you ask? Were they too salty? Her attitude completely changed as she began to panic frantically. Was it you, Dena? Or was it your mom? Why are you asking who made them? Why? Depending on who made them, my opinion of them might change drastically. Huh? She counted frantically on her fingers, trying to remember the amount of salt she'd used to pickle them. It wasn't like I was trying to tease her, but I couldn't stop myself. Guys who take pleasure in this kind of thing are probably the worst. Guys like me. Nana nervously opened and closed her mouth over and over, trying to muster a response. It was me. Delicious. Huh? Pretty good, just like the last ones. They went perfectly with the rice. Her face went bright red again. She was completely spacing out. It truly was a lot of fun to tease her. I pray that Dena never gets taken advantage of by some lowlife. Keep at it, Dena. I'll train you until you handle it like the average person. Or so I decided for myself. Smooth talker, wow. A little cheesy, though. Let's go. If you keep me on waiting, we'll never hear the end of it. Seeing how she just keeps spacing out otherwise, I called Dena to reality so we could make our way to the school. This strange, easily flustered girl is Dena Ryugu. I've only known her for about a month, but I've come to realize it's not just her name that's strange. Wow. Oh? Mi-chan, good morning! Coming up to the next rendezvous point, we saw another person waiting for us. Noticing us, she waved. The hand? Finally! You two are late! Usually you're the one who's late. In sharp contrast to the diligent Rena, this one marched to the beat of her own drum. She's Mion Somozaki. For what it's worth, she's our senior and head of the class. Morning, Dena, and it's been a while, Kei-chan. How many years? I was only off 2 days. You don't say. You were so much cuter back then. Mion's gaze started at my chest, then dropped straight down, focusing at the point between my legs. So she was saying it was my crotch that was cuter back then. Before you ask, just to be clear, I've never actually tried to show it to her. I've grown quite splendidly. You'd be surprised. Not only is he bigger, but he has a little mustache now. Being so engorged with energy every morning is quite a problem, though. I'll introduce you next time, so be sure to greet him properly. Don't say next time. Right now is just fine. How about letting the little guy get a breath of fresh morning air? I don't think I've ever heard talk so dirty you could smell it fouling up the morning air before. Man, yeah, first thing in the morning. I look away for 1 second, what the? Right? Mion sure does act like an old man sometimes. Gotcha. Time for the big reveal. Hope you don't regret it. As my hand reached for my fly, Lena began to ramble in a near panic. Hey, hey, hey! What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Red-faced and flustered, Lena tried to play dumb, but it was obviously she knew exactly what we were talking about. How was it, seeing the city again? Hang on, let me get a drink of water. Also, I think when I had started to play it the first time, like back in 2020, I think I had actually used a mod that made all the lines voiced, you know? I think I might do that again really quickly. Though I think that means we won't get to see the original sprites, which is a little bit sad, I guess. But I kind of want to hear the lines voiced, so yeah, it is quite a bit of talking. So let me see. Let me try to set that up right now really quickly. Higurashi. Whoa. Let's see. I'm at the page now. Reading instructions. Okay. Let's see. Install, download, then run it. I took a nap from like noon to 3 p.m. And even though I woke up like 3 hours ago, I haven't really been doing much, you know? I was mostly just like staying in bed, but my voice. Wait, how do I download this? Where is the option? Oh. Ah, okay. Hiccup. Oh wait, I should probably wait, let me save this here. Oh yeah, so I got to chapter 7, I guess, when I was playing it. But here, I'll just okay. Let me exit out of this. Yes. Okay. And then let's see. Run installer. Ah, okay. I can choose between having the full thing and just the voices. So I'll just do the voices then. Oh, well. It says the voice-only patch may contain more bugs than the full patch. We only offer limited support for the voice-only patch, except during initial release. Okay, I'll just do the full thing then. Why not? Let's see, English, yes. Okay. I was saying might not be compatible with cracking my back with saves of the game, but we didn't get very far, so it should be fine anyways, even if we have to go back from the beginning. Let's see. I wonder how long this will take. It says subtask progress. I'm at 50. It says overall progress 0%. I feel like, oh, overall progress has moved to 6% now. Oh, 12%. Come on, come on. 12% still. 19%. Progress bar gaming. Yeah, buddy. Oh, 38%, 45%. It's loading some PNGs now. It's the sprites. 51%, let's go. 57%. Come on. You can do it. Woo! Let's get those numbers up, baby. Yeah. 64%, 77, 83. Wow. Install was successful. Okay. Let's see. Warning, the first time you start the game will freeze on a white screen for up to 2 minutes while scripts are compiling. I see. Highly recommend you read the FAQ. Oh, I see. There's also censorship options. Oh, I see. Well, let's see. Installer. Okay. I guess I can start it again, and then I think should be good. Question mark. Ah, okay. Here's a first time setup menu. I'll do new BGM sound effects, I guess. Click here when you're finished. Oh, the aspect ratio changed. Yep, moved the wrong thing. Oopsie. Ah. This is kind of banger. OP kinda cool, right? This is nice. Yeah. Scary, but enough. Ugh, feet. It's like 3D models. feet, girl. Right? Those grippers. I cannot stand bugs. I am covering the screen. I do not want to see that. Okay. Did not enjoy that. Alright. Nice. Yeah, blood and gore, okay. Bugs? No. I hate bugs, man. Let's see. I guess this is probably all good. Remake console. Oh. Ahem. This is all fine. Let's see if I can continue. Oh! Wow, it's like a whole new game. Oh, I should have read that out loud. Oops. Then had a slightly troubled look on her face. Toying with her was rather fun because of how quickly her mood changed. With those words, Nana seemed to relax. Her face flushed bright red. Is there supposed to be a background? I feel like there should be, right? Nana turned bright red, steam rising from her head as her brain short-circuited. She's especially weak to this sort of talk. It's quite rare to find someone this fun to tease. From that response, I gathered she was interested in them but was too embarrassed to actually buy one. I couldn't imagine what would happen if she did read one. She'd probably turn red and pass out. I feel like maybe I should start from the beginning. I feel like there probably should be a background here, right? Voice matching level. Oh, that's right. Let me just start from the beginning, I think. Oh. I didn't think it would just, like, exit like that. Okay, let me start it up again then. Oops. Here we go again. Okay, let's just start from the beginning. I don't like that sound. Oh, we got there's a graphic there now. I'm just gonna speed run through this. Yeah. Hearing it sped up is just all right. Yeah, we got a background. Wow, it's Hinamizawa. Now we're gaming. Yeah, buddy! These updated graphics are nice. So this is his room. Wow, we got a breakfast. Got a breakfast. I got a kitchen, I meant to say.
早起きしない。ご飯。山盛り。こっちに引っ越してきてから、圭一が朝食を欠かさないんで、そろ急いで。
急いで。
レナちゃんにお漬物。あよ。
And I'm gonna go get some water actually. Maybe I'll just leave it on auto for a bit.
相変わらず早いな。たまにはのんびり朝寝坊したっていいんだぜ。
寝坊したら圭一くんを待たせちゃうじゃない。
そん時は置いてく。
圭一くん冷たい。いつも待っててあげてるのに。
サクサク置いてく。キリキリ置いてく。
どうして冷たいんだろう。
嘘。ちゃんと待ってるよ。
ありがとう。
レナが来るまでずーっと待ってる。いつまでも。
I'm back. And yeah, there's a background here. Makes sense.
レナはロマンスものの文庫本は読んだこと？
ないよ。
そうそう。
どうだった？
Halo. Hello.
しょっぱくなかったかな。
その前にレナのお母さんか。レナ前回に続きなかなかだったぜ。行こうぜ。ミオンを待たせるとあいつ。
みーちゃん、おはよ
う。いつも遅いのはお前の方だろう。
う。おはよう。
2日しか休んでねえよ。
そうだっけか？前に会った時はこんなにちっちゃくて可愛かったのにな。
Oh, you know, it's nice too. They have the like they have their names for who's saying what. When I was having to like read out their lines, I was like, I don't know who is saying what exactly here. But red-faced and flustered, Rena tried to play dumb, but it was obvious she knew exactly what we were talking about.
どうだった？久しぶりの都会はさ。
Mion switched gears, dropping the dirty talk and changing the topic back to something more befitting the pleasant morning.
葬式で行っただけだぜ。慌ただしいだけだったよ。
でさ、探しといてくれた？頼んどいたやつ。
お前、人の話聞いてないだろ。俺は葬式で帰っただけだぜ。おもちゃ屋巡りをしてる余裕なんかなかったんだよ。
ち。おもちゃ屋とホビーショップは全然違うよ。特に洋物、こっちじゃなかなか手に入らないからね。みーちゃん、またゲームの話？
Mion nodded proudly as Rena giggled.
そう、ケイちゃんに洋芸のカタログを持ってきてもらいたかったんだけどね。
Westport was short for Western Imported Games. Using that abbreviation did make it sound pretty geeky.
そんなのまた通販で取り寄せりゃいいじゃねえか。
ま、そうするかな。またプレイングの熱いゲームを入荷するからね。
熱いゲーム。
今度は私にも分かりやすいゲームがいいな。
Mion is a board and card game enthusiast, and I hear she's collected quite a lot of different ones. She's a gamer! According to Dena, Mion's room has become a museum for domestic and foreign games.
俺にも分かりそうなゲームがあったらやらせてくれよ。
いいよ。ケイちゃんさえ良ければね。でもうちらのレベルは高いよ。
上等じゃねえか。俺だって遊び100番遅れを取るつもりはないぜ。
じゃあ今度はケイチくんも仲間に加わるのかな。
Nana is doubling her words. It's cute. Bristling with joy from head to toe, Nana looked back and forth between me and Mion. Mion gave her an affirmative wink, and her expression perked up even further.
男の子ってきっと外で遊ぶ方が好きだと思ってたからダメかと思ってたよ。
Nana laughed happily. From such a friendly conversation, you wouldn't think I had moved here less than a month ago. I understood that they did all they could to make a transfer student like me feel at home. I'll have to try harder to fit in, so they won't feel like they have to try to make me feel welcome. I felt like if I acted a bit more open than I usually am, it should probably be about right for this place. Hinamizawa was a really small village. Not only was there only one school, but there was only one class. That class encompasses all different grades and ages. There are about 30 students at different levels, and they all study in the same class. I'm told that, long ago, there used to be a bigger school building, and they had actual separate classes. However, it seems something happened that made it become a single class, and now it stayed that way out of tradition. I was shocked at first, but humans adapt pretty quickly. I've already gotten quite used to it. The sound of children playing started right from the morning. With such a lively mood, it felt more like a kindergarten than a proper school. Not that that was a bad thing. Wow. Mion, who had been walking in front of us up until then, suddenly let me take the lead, right in front of the classroom door. So I was meant to slide the door open and enter the room first. Heh. Too bad. I wasn't gonna fall for that again.
ここで先頭を譲るとはな。お手並み拝見ってことかよ。
Mion chuckled with a haughty smirk on her face.
どうしたの二人とも。
下がってろレナ。危ないぞ。やつだ。
じゃあさとこちゃんが。
Her name was Satoko Hojo. She was a disrespectful, impudent, bossy kid. The way she talks was annoying, but it would be immature to get worked up over just that. The real problem was this.
見え見えの罠だな。引き戸の上に挟んだ黒板消し。見え見えだぜ、サトコ。
A haughty laugh came from beyond the door.
お見事、ケイちゃん。こりゃ今回は勝負あったかな。
いや、相手はサトコだ。これだけとは思えない。
After falling for such intricate traps since the day I transferred, I no longer let my guard down. Satoko liked to combine a variety of traps. Traps that were simply there to bait you into the main one, traps that relentlessly kept coming at you like a sadistic Rube Goldberg machine, the list goes on. As well as being clever, they almost never misfire. When you least expect it, she strikes! No escape, no time to relax.
黒板消しは普通。石とかは入れてないみたいだな。
No rocks or anything. I took a pretty heavy hit from a blackboard. I used to loaded with rocks on my first day. That must hurt.
じゃあさ、ガラガラって開けて落としちゃえばいいんじゃないかな。
それだ。
That's what Satoko was after, making me focus my attention upward, so as I lifted my hand to the door, there were thumbtacks stuck to the sliding door handle with tape. A frightening trap. That's pretty dangerous. A potent and terrifying trap, concealed by using the blackboard
見事
eraser.
なコンボだ、サトコ。だが所詮はガキの浅知恵だったな。
Assured of my victory, I threw the door open and stepped into the room. I felt something strange at my ankle. It was similar to the sensation of a jump rope catching on my leg. By the time I realized she had me, hook, line, and sinker, it was already too late. I began to fall in an almost picturesque manner. Instinctively reacting to Mion's shrill warning, I twisted my body in midair before I landed on the floor. An inkstone filled to the brim was placed right where I should have landed. I shuddered, imagining the situation had I landed square on it. Hiccup. Ah. Ara ara. Still sprawled in an awkward position, I was greeted by a mocking voice.
一段とスペシャルなトラップワークになったじゃないか、サトコ。
私何のことかわかりませんもの。朝からついてませんわね。
てめえ。
It seemed I'd inadvertently sprained my back a little when I'd landed. Better than landing on that inkstone. Yeah. A small hand gently rubbed my head. His VA is so into it. He really is. A small dainty hand continued to gently stroke my head. I thought about asking how rubbing my head would help my back, but I didn't. It's not so much about what you actually do, it's the thought that counts.
ありがとな。リカちゃんのおかげで痛みが引いてきたぜ。
リカちゃん、おはよう。レナにおはようございます。みんなにもおはようございますです。
Nika-chan greeted each of us with an adorable little bow. It was infectious. Rena, Mion, and I all Mion, did I say Mia? Rena, Mion, and I all bowed back.
リカちゃんはいい子だよな。それに比べてサトコは。
I glared over in her direction. Satoko was whistling while rather deliberately trying to avoid eye contact.
サトコはいい子でございますのことよ。
いい子はこんな凶悪な罠仕掛けないぞ。
言いがかりでございますわ。
Nothing but lies and slander.
何の証拠があって。
I picked up Satoko by the back of her collar. She looks like a misbehaved cat when I do this. But a cat wouldn't be setting traps. She's much harder to deal with.
ごめんなさいって言ってみな。言わないなら。
I cocked my index finger on my thumb, letting it tremble as I brought it closer to Satoko's forehead. Ooh.
言っとくが俺のデコピンはすごく痛い。ベニヤくらいなら割る。
Whoa.
やめて、寄らないでけだもの。
人様が君を誤解するような言い方するんじゃねえ。
A small hand tugged on the back of my shirt.
ケイイチが2日間もお休みしたから寂しかったのです。
Rika-chan really is just so... How could I do anything more after being told that? I gently released my grip on Satoko, who at this point was on the verge of tears. She still had her eyes clamped shut as she braced herself for the forehead flick.
悔しくなんかないもん。
Oh.
泣いちゃダメです、サトコ。ファイト、おーです。
Rika gently patted the head of her prankster friend. You would never guess those two are the same age. I think Satoko could learn a thing or a million. Not a thing or two, a thing or a million from Nika-chan.
今度はもっとすごい罠を仕掛けなさいですよ。
Wait a minute. As she observed the scene, Nena's expression grew ecstatic as she began to swoon.
サトコちゃん泣いてる。かわいいよ。
かわいいよ。
持ち帰っちゃダメだからね。いや、だってこんなにかわいいよ。どんなに可愛くてもダメなの。でもちょっとくらいならダメかな。
Nena kept a cutesy face even as outrageous ideas spewed from her mouth. According to Mion, Dena is ridiculously weak to cute things and always tries to take them home. Object or person.
物もまずいが誘拐はもっとまずいぞ。諦めろ。
じゃあ見てるだけだよ。それならいいよね。
Neno swooned over Satoko's crying form. If a girl ever goes missing in Hinamizawa, I'll be forced to turn Dena into the authorities. Forgive me, Dena. I'll be sure to bring you care packages when they put you away.
先生来たよ。早く片付ける。さとこ、すずりあんたのでしょ。
Just from Mion's single statement, the entire mood of the room shifted back to normal. The inkstone was bad, but the thumbtacks stuck to the door handle were an even bigger problem. I pulled the tape off carefully, making sure not to skewer myself. Even though Satoko was the one who set it up, everyone had to pick up after her. By the time the teacher entered the room, the bedlam from before had been neatly tidied up.
間に合ったね。起立。気をつけ。
Mion gave out the morning commands. It's difficult being the teacher for all these different grades in one classroom. She has to teach something different to each one. But naturally, she ends up spending all her time with the younger kids. Nena and Mion, being in the highest grade in the class, end up mostly doing self-study. They even end up helping teach the younger kids, so it seems like they can never get to their own studies. They're actually way behind where my studies have progressed to. As a result, I'm pretty much taking over for the teacher and helping Nena and Mion with their studies.
ケイチ君はお勉強教えるのうまいね。わかりやすいよ。
Nena took a breather after finishing highlighting an important section.
教える端から自信がなくなるよ。自分の理解の浅さがわかるな。
人に教えるには3倍理解してなければならないって言うしね。ケイちゃんもうちらに教えながら同時に復習もできてるわけなんだよ。
In contrast, this person over here is quite laissez-faire about things. For one, isn't she supposed to be in a higher grade than me?
ミオンさ、一言じゃないぞ。
Oh, by the way, stretching. June, when did you wanna stream again? Was it 8 to 9 your time or my time? I just wanna know. And I should probably end.
こんなレベルじゃ。
別に進学校を目指すわけでもないし、受験に必要なそこそこができ
Wait,
てる。
Omokata is dropping now. Ah! Good luck! Haito! Ganbatte! You got this! That's right, 59 right now. Oh! Good luck! I'm gonna go to the restroom really quickly. BRB, hopefully when I'm back, you'll have gotten the clothes. I'm back. Wow, it's all the band leader hoodies, no tire Lisa. Ah, but I picked up the Roselia hoodie. It's so pretty. Yukina on the back. Oh, I see. Wait, let me look at them really quickly. I don't think I'll buy anything, but Omoka. Ah, Yukina! Oh, it really is so pretty. Oh, and they've got Raise the Spoon and Morphonica too. The Hello Happy World one is so cute. Kokoro. Man, Bandori, it's been so long since I've like engaged with Bandori content. I really like the Pasupade one. It's cute. The roses on the Roselia one are so nice though. On the ends of the sleeves. They look so good. Wow. Alrighty, we'll get back to gaming now. Her staunch defiance was really something else. This was a different type of relax than somebody who already knew what was going to be on the entrance exams.
みーちゃん、ケイチくんが頑張って教えてくれるんだからさ。
More anime hoodies. Hey, I actually got a Kiara and Ame hoodie from their restock shop last week. Nice. I want to get some of their Halloween stuff eventually. Guess they're still in stock, huh? I wanted I really like Ina's sweater, and then I like Gura jacket, which is sold out right now, but I'm trying to save up, you know. I need to get a Switch. I want to stream so many Switch games. Ah, I'm so sad. Man, why did I get a Lite instead of just the actual one when I got, you know? Grr! But... just looking at their stuff now. The acrylic stands are so cute too. I love the pixel art. It's so good. Pin set looks really nice too. The catalog looks cute. Wow. A 34-page, 7-inch by 10-inch saddle stitch booklet containing highlights from Holomyth interviews featuring Morikata Yopi, Takashi Kiara, Ninomai, Inanis, Gaogura, and Watson Amelia. Interviews conducted by Omokat and Omokat's manager Dai, artwork by artists Omokat and EMS. It's neat. Oh yeah, I'll probably just start streaming once you start. I had no rush for you to end it though. I don't want to overlap. Okay. We'll see how far I get. I guess I'll just, oh yeah. Stop whenever I feel like not talking anymore. But yeah, I think the first part is pretty slow, so probably it'll just be, it's like, you know, slice of life stuff. It's like not too taxing or anything, you know? But, alrighty.
レナは素直ないい子だな。先生がきっといい学校に進学させてやるからな。
ありがとう。
レナには特に教えてやるからな。二人きりでプライベートレッスンだぞ。
プライベートレッスン。
Maybe I'll just do a double stream tomorrow for Sekai and then Yakuza. I don't really want to stream past 10. Yeah, makes sense. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're doing. You were gonna do Pro Sekai today, right? But yeah, we'll see. I don't think I'll end too late. I don't know. Maybe yeah, I might try to just end it at like in an hour-ish, or I don't know, we'll see, yeah. But a puff of smoke shaped like a halo popped out of Denna's head. Exactly what kind of private lesson is she fantasizing about that's making her turn so red? I'd like to hear the play-by-play of that next time. Keiji-kun. While Mion was flipping through her vocabulary flashcards, she threw out a casual question.
都会じゃさ、こんなに勉強しなきゃいけないわけ？
この程度はできないと進学できないね。
進学できないから勉強するわけ？
まあ平たく言えばそうなるな。将来役に立たないのは承知で。
Yeah.
こっちじゃあさ、出席日数が足りてりゃみんな進学できるんだよ。
That's pretty nice. Oopsie.
そうなのか？
Study equals entrance exams. Having that basic law of the universe so easily overturned sent me into a state of shock.
そうかもね。試験で振り落とさなきゃならないほど人もいないし。
That's true, I guess.
誰でも進学できるならさ、こんなにガリガリとやることもないんじゃない？
まあそうだけど、でも一般常識程度にはできた方が。
おじさんはそんな無駄な勉強に時間をかけるよりさ、この思春期の貴重な時間をもっと有意義に過ごすために使うべきじゃないかなと考えるわけよ。
It was too profound of a statement to simply laugh off. But since it was Mion, it probably didn't actually have that deep of a meaning. In place of a chime, the sound of the principal waving a handbell drifted through the classroom.
えーちゃん、おしまいおしまい。さあ、楽しいランチタイム。
Lunchtime! In a complete 180 from her unmotivated state, Mion gave the commands that signaled the end of the morning period.
ケイチくん、お昼にしよう。
I might have been making a very troubled face. Denna smiled brightly at me. Alright!
飯にするか。
Yosha! There seemed to be different cliques, even within the class. Most of them were divided up by gender and age, but our group was different. Our ages were different, and we had both boys and girls, but we weren't reserved around each other. This level of openness makes a transfer student like me pretty happy. Nana and Mion pushed their desks together so they were facing each other. At the same time, Satoko and Nika-chan were slowly lugging their desks over as well.
ケイチくん、早く早く。
Nana waved her chopsticks in an unrefined manner, trying to hurry me along. Unless everyone was together, they wouldn't even open their lunch boxes.
ケイチさんのお弁当はミミチク日の丸弁当に決まってますわ。さあ、恥ずかしがらずにお見せなさいな。ほらほら。
Even though Satoko was hurling insults at me, she still wouldn't open the lid to her lunchbox until I was there. I pulled out my lunchbox swiftly and dragged my chair over to join the circle.
お待たせ。
では、ミー委員長の号令で
ミー委員長。
いただきますです。
At first, this was coming into. At first. That's supposed to be a comma, isn't it? At first, this was kind of embarrassing, but I got used to it pretty fast. At this point, I probably wouldn't even open my own lunchbox if someone else was too slow. Our ages and genders may have all been different, but we were all friends.
いただきます。
Itadakimasu! The sound of our little 5-part chorus echoed beautifully throughout the classroom. Really, though, I've gotten pretty used to this group made up of all girls. Of course, there are other boys in the class, but they were a lot younger, so they were scared to approach me. Well, that's to be expected. Younger boys just see older boys as scary. Compare that to girls, well, at least these girls aren't picky. We put all the side dishes in the middle, where everybody was free to pick at them. I thought girls would mind sharing a meal with a guy, so I was a bit flustered joining in. However, Mion noticed that and teased me quite a bit. As the fruit of my efforts, I can now reach over and take sides from anybody's lunch.
ケイチさんのお弁当は今日は大奮発ではございませんこと？
あらあら、さとこさんのお弁当こそ大奮発ですこと。煮物がシックでいい感じですわ。
Buying into the fight that Sadako was starting, our chopsticks locked in a cross counter, stabbing into each other's lunch.
ビビン。
お、里芋がいい感じだぞ。
I love Taro! Ah! I want it. Yeah. Though I really like sweet taro, like taro in like desserts, like steamed buns or taro boba or whatever. But I don't really like savory taro that much. Like it's okay, but taro is really good in those like those like the snacks where it's like fried vegetables in assortment, fried vegetable chips, and there's like taro in those. Those are pretty good. After seeing my happy face, Nika-chan's expression broke into a little smile. By the way, Satoko and Nika-chan's lunches are always the same. It seems that Nika-chan makes it for both of them every day. That's really impressive. She's just a little kid making lunch for both of them. Wow. Ooh, I've only ever had taro boba. Yeah. You should try other forms of taro sometime. It's all good. I was honestly impressed. The carrot rosettes weren't from a mold. They were done by hand with a knife. That's not easy to do. Yeah, that is amazing. With the star. It seemed that the topic of conversation switched to Rena when she wasn't expecting it, making her blush and trip over her words. Rena's lunch really was the star of the table. Not only did it look good, it tasted good. Everyone else pulled from Rena's lunchbox constantly. Knocking Mion's chopsticks aside, I reached out, trying to secure my own portion. Satoko and Nika-chan reached over at the same time, and a struggle ensued. Everyone shoveled in mouthful after mouthful while praising it, and Rena's lunchbox was soon empty. It was kind of bad that no one thought to leave any for Rena, but Rena seemed rather satisfied as she looked on. How did she say star? She just did it. I feel like that's how you would say something with a star, Dayo? You know what that? Oh, she read that line. Oop. Oh my gosh, wait. There's this one time, my friend was like, broccoli and cauliflower are the same thing, right? I was like, huh? Like at our age, they're different. Satoko's face went pale. She can't tell the difference either? One is green and one is white, and they taste different too. They don't even taste like the same or really all that similar. How? I know, right? It's really hard for her to lie. Mayo. I don't know about just eating them plain with mayo. Nana hurriedly tried to follow up, but Mion laughed haughtily as she drew closer to Satoko. Mion lifted up her chopsticks. Between them was the piece of green stuff wrapped in bacon. Mion made eye contact with me, and within 0.3 seconds, I had Nika-chan's mouth covered. Holding a piece of bacon-wrapped asparagus and giving her two choices. She's pretty terrible. The blue one?
本当にどっちか分かってる？降参した方が良くない？
I'd expect no less from the class representative, the oldest. The way she drives people into her corner just shows how much experience she has. This is just a hunch, but being brought into the Sonozaki household must be quite the ordeal.
わかりますもの。わかるもん。じゃあ答えなよ。わかるもん。
Oh, don't cry. She finally broke down and started crying. When she acts like this, she actually starts to seem her age. Nana entered a state of euphoria as Satoko bawled her eyes out. Nana was in a state of bliss as she rubbed her cheek against Satoko's head and smothered her. Really, a very content face. One that wouldn't care if the world ended right then. It was that kind of smile. Mimi. Mion-san.
大丈夫だよ。レナお姉ちゃんが悪い人たちはやっつけちゃうからね。
Push! Move! Bam! It was like a flash of lightning.
今一体何が？
Both of Dena's fists shot out at supersonic speed, striking Mion and me squarely in our faces. Before we knew it, Mion and I were sprawled spread eagle on the floor, staring up at the ceiling with matching welts on our faces.
姉ちゃんは食らうの初めてだよね。今日のはまだ甘い方。
甘いってこれよりまだ上があるってのかよ。
With that, Mion and I both slumped our heads back to the floor in unison. From now on, I'll be careful when I'm within striking distance of Dena.
ほらさとこちゃん、やっつけちゃったよ。あー、かわいい。お持ち帰りしたい。
Making sure Dena couldn't see it, Satoko stuck her tongue out at us. Damn it all! Using Dena like a puppet! Nika-chan massaged our bruises without saying a word. But wouldn't massaging them just make them worse? Cute. Kai. No matter what the day had held, the last school bell always came too soon. Our shadows stretched off into the distance.
ねえ、ケイチ君、明日はさ、何か予定とかあるかな？
え？
It was such a direct question from Nana that I inadvertently blushed. If it was for a date, then wouldn't you do it more subtly? BRB, alright, see ya soon. Nana saw me lost for words and realized that I'd misunderstood and turned red as well.
違うの。そういうのじゃなくて。
Aw, these two. So apparently that wasn't what she meant. But since it's always fun when Nana's in a panic, I went along with it a little.
なんだそういうのじゃないのかよ。
Playing it up, I slumped my shoulders, feigning dejection.
なんでがっかりしてるんだろう。
Oh my.
みーちゃん。
Unable to hold it in any longer, Mion slapped me on the back.
そっか。なになんなの？
Mion was rolling on the floor, clutching her stomach, while Dena flailed about, completely bewildered. I couldn't help but start laughing as well. Feeling just a bit guilty, I ruffled Dena's hair.
嘘ごめん冗談悪かったよ。
She really is a cute one. Oopsie.
冗談ってどこからだろう？
え、あ、途中から。
Hang on. Just doing something really quick. Hello. Welcome back.
途中から？
What's going on here? Not much. Then asked us if we could hang out tomorrow. We thought maybe it's a date, but then it was like, oh, it's not. Yeah, then saw me lost words, realized that I misunderstood and turned red as well. Oh yeah, he blushed. No, I didn't mean it like that. He went along with it. Oh really, so it wasn't meant that way, haha. Gage-kun, why are you so disappointed, Mion? Ah ha 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 ha. I see, this old geezer never knew you could push your buttons like that. Huh? Huh? What is it? Mion was rolling on the floor, Rafflecopter, clutching her stomach while Dena flailed around, completely bewildered. Kidding, sorry, it was a joke. That was my fault. Huh? A joke since when? About halfway through. I'm afraid to ask, but when does the horror start? I'm not sure if we'll even get to it today, to be honest. It's like, yeah.
って
Halfway.
ことはケイちゃん、最初の真っ赤になったのはあれ演技じゃないんだ。
I think it starts, there's like this festival that happens. It starts after that, I'm pretty sure.
それって
It was only a momentary lapse, but there's no way Mion would let such a delectable detail slip by her.
いやその
Saying anything more was also a bad idea. In my bewildered state, I slipped further into an unfavorable position. After that, Mion continued to tease me about it for a while. Nice little BGM here.
明日が暇だと何なんだよレナ。
何の話だっけ？
It had been so long that Dena had forgotten. That's how long Mion had teased me.
ケイちゃんさ、まだこのひなみ沢一人じゃ回れないでしょ？
That was true. I hate to say it, but if you blindfolded me and spun me around 3 times like you're playing pin to tail on the donkey, I wouldn't be able to tell up from down
そ
here.
うだな。町へ行くのと学校へ行く以外はまだ自信ないな。
そうそう。それでね、明日ね、みーちゃんとレナでお散歩しながら、ケイイチくんにひなみ沢を案内してあげようよってことになって。
That would be a godsend. Frankly, I was happy about the offer.
もちろん行くでしょ？
暇ならな。
女の子が誘ってんじゃん。
暇ならな。
どうせ暇なんでしょ？
暇ならな。
So persistent. I was being stubborn so as to not give a clear yes or no. Even though I thought it was a godsend, I'm too much of a scamp to say so up front.
ケイイチくん、暇じゃないのかな？かな？
While Mion and I had our rather sour back and forth, Nana peeked over at me hesitantly. Figuring I'd been a bit too rough on her, I just gave
すま
in.
ん許せごめん。暇だ。
よかった。
The trepidation disappeared from Nana's face as it blossomed into a smile.
おうおう。ミヨンさんとレナさんじゃ随分と温度差がありますじゃん。
It seems Mion didn't care for how rude I was to her compared to how quickly I agreed with Dena. But her being annoyed was very interesting. So I pushed Dena forward, speeding up our pace to leave Mion
行こうレ
behind.
ナ。明日は二人っきりで出かけような。嫌味なミオンは置いてって。
Grumpy old Mion. I like Mion quite a bit.
ケイイチくんがそれでいいなら。案内しようって提案したのは私。しかとすんな前原ケイイチ。
二人きりでピクニック嬉しいな。弁当は持ってくかレナ。
Always messing with them.
お弁当いるならレナ作っちゃおうかな。レナもしかとすんな。
Picnic sounds
クラブだ
nice.
って村中に回覧板を。
It's like spring now.
じゃあレナ今日は早く帰ってお弁当の準備するね。明日が楽しみ。じゃあねケイイチくんにみーちゃんさようなら。
Then I bounded off like she was walking on the moon. After the dust settled, all that was left was me standing next to Mion, sprawled out on the ground. There was a welt on her
大丈夫
face.
かミオンとレナの立ち位置。
だが来て以来切れ味は増す一方。おじさん身が持たないわ。
Maybe it'd be easier if you stopped saying stuff that makes Nana want to hit you. Or else this will end up being Mion's slapstick comedy hour. If that happened, the results might be fatal.
くじけるなよミオン。 レナのジャブを見切れるのはお前しかいない。
私は膝じゃないかと思ってんだけどね。
Could it be that we were hanging around with an unrivaled martial arts master? Maybe someday we'll see her debut in an extreme contact
レナ
sport.
には負けられないぞ。ミオンも鍛えてリベンジだ。
ケイちゃんがしてよ。おじさんは応援してる。
Mion and I reaffirmed our determination to discover a way to counter Rena's infallible technique. New tips unlocked. We're a mixed grade, we don't have a uniform? View new tips, I guess. This music. We're a mixed grade? What is this?
レナってさ、俺と同い年だったよな。
Oh, I guess it's just a little extra
そうだよ。
cutscene.
エトも同じだよね。
Wow. Hey, now, it would be weird if we were the same age but not the same zodiac. True.
そんなことないよ。誕生日の違いがあれば年齢が同じでも干支が違うこともありえるって。
あれミオン、頭いいじゃないか。
That's true.
ところでケイチ君は何月生まれなのかな。レナは7月なんだよ。
Lena smirked and puffed up with pride. Hey now, what's the meaning of this? She's not planning to be all high and mighty if her birthday is a wee bit sooner than mine, is she?
だが諦めろ。俺に誕生日で挑もうったって無駄なことだ。なんならどっちが年上か罰ゲーム付きで勝負してもいいぜ。
What's your sign, Keiichi?
なんでだろう。なんでだろう。
Lena panicked at suddenly being challenged to a wager. Given how panicked she is, I'm certain she doesn't have much allowance left this month. It's just, sending her into a panic about something as simple as a birthday is so fun, I can't help myself.
ってことはケイちゃん、ひょっとして4月生まれ？
そういうこったな。残念だな。俺もうとっくにレナより年上なんだよ。
へえ、そうなんだ。じゃあみーちゃんと同い年なんだね。まあほんの何ヶ月かはね。すぐにまた差を開いてあげるけどさ。
Mion snickered through her nose. Hey now, that's not something to get all high and mighty about. As if I'm one to talk. Heh.
そういえばミオンって上級生なんだよな。
下級生の方が燃えってんなら今日から下級生ってことでもいいけど。みーちゃん、よくわかんないこと言ってる。
Just by seeing Nena's blushing face, you could tell she knew exactly what she meant by it, though.
で、サトコとリカちゃんが下級生とどころか学校が違うくらいの下級生だよな。
ケイチ君はちょっと好みの年齢が低すぎると思うな。
No!
思うな。
You're not making any sense yourself, Nena. I'll just grab onto her head and scruff it up a bit.
やめて。
前から思ってたんだけどさ、なんでこの学校ってクラスが学年混在なんだ？
教室の数が足りないからだよ。仕方ないじゃん。営林署の建物を間借りしてんだからさ。
She says it like that, it makes sense. I've thought our school is strange for a while now. The schoolyard is gravel. There are rooms that aren't for classes, and there's some strange sort of construction machinery parked here.
なんで借りてるんだよ。本当の学校はどうしちゃったんだよ。
戦前からずーっと立ってたらしいからね。老朽化でね。廃校ってわけよ。
It probably was a grand old
まあ
schoolhouse.
それで生徒は町の学校に通うことになったんだけどさ。多いでしょ。どこの学校だったの？沖宮の駅前通りを抜けて病院に曲がって小児科の向かいに学校あるのわかる？遠いよ。
I couldn't tell where that was by the location, but I understood it was pretty far from Nena's reaction.
まあそんなわけでさ、沖宮の学校に通いたくない連中はこうして営林署の建物を間借りした仮校舎に通ってるってわけさ。
Makes sense.
ひなみ沢の子供の半分くらいかな。朝早くに自転車で通ってる子たちも結構いるよ。ま
あこんなはちゃめちゃな学校に通ってたら進学校とかはちょっと無理だろうからね。
そんなことないよみーちゃん。ちゃんと頑張ればどこでだってお勉強はできるよ。
お、そうだぞそうだぞ。レナとは意見が一致したな。
そうだね。頑張ろう。
せいぜい頑張ってくださいな。おじさんはささやかに応援しとりますわ。
俺たちがじゃないぞ、ミオンがだぞ。お前受験生だろ。こんな成績じゃお先真っ暗だぞ。
いいもんいいもん。路頭に迷ったら永久就職してケーキを食わせてもらうから。
永久就職ってなんだろう。なんだろう。
ほらそこうるさいですよ。自習は静かに。
Is that the teacher? Ah, yes. Teacher yelled at all three of us. It was completely our fault. Sadako saw it and chortled haughtily. I stuck out my tongue at her in response. It is just as Mion says. This school has nothing to do with higher education, but it makes up for that by having lots of valuable things other schools don't. Cute. The music on this screen though is so ominous. Right? The tips. I'm pretty sure they'll, like, you know, get darker and scarier as it progresses, but for these it's just like kind of funny. It's so out of place. We don't have a uniform. It's only June, but it's already so hot. I could hear the higurashi outside chirping me, me, and at night there are mosquitoes. It might as well be summer already. My only salvation was that the mornings are still cool.
暑いでございますわね。
Satoko was flapping her skirt languidly. That's pretty unladylike there. Even if she was a little brat, she still was a girl.
ケイチさんはワイシャツ一枚で涼しそうですわね。羨ましいですわ。
俺から見りゃスカートのサトコの方が涼しそうだよ。この時期のズボンがどれだけ暑いか女のお前にはわかるまい。
Didn't need that description.
暑いって、
This girl has gone imagining something
レナの
indecent.
夏服は涼しそうな色合いがいいよな。見てるこっちも涼しくなる。
ありがとう。本当に涼しいんだよ。私もレナさんみたいな涼しい夏服が良かったですわね。でもさとこちゃんの夏服ワンピースですっごい可愛いし、レナはさとこちゃんの夏服着てみたいな。
Do girls not wear pants here? I guess not.
これ結構蒸しますわよ。絶対にレナさんの方が涼しいですわ。でも可愛い服の方がきっと楽しいよ。
How? I had a feeling that Rena and Satoko's base values were fundamentally different.
そういえばこの学校って指定の制服とかないんだよな。
うん、ないよ。ふさわしい服であれば私服でも大丈夫なんだよ。
There are quite a few students in regular clothes. There were a few wearing uniforms, but they were all the same design and rather plain.
他の連中が着てる制服は何なんだよ。みんなお揃いだよ。
あれは町の学校の制服なんですのよ。別に決まってるわけじゃないですけど、みんな着てますわね。
そこへ行くと俺らの仲間はみんないろいろな制服を着てるよな。わざわざどこかから取り寄せたのか？
ええ、ミオンさんが調達してくださいますの。みーちゃんの親類で古着商をやってる人がいて、全国の学校の服を格安で仕入れてるんだって。
Mine?
でその親類に頼んでいろいろ個性的な制服を取り寄せてもらってるわけか。
That Mion, she probably loves using her friends as dress-up dolls. That must be a strange second-hand clothing store. I get that it's a second-hand clothing store, but stocking clothes from schools all over the country? That's pretty strange for a second-hand clothing store, that's true. What's the point in stocking up clothes from faraway schools they know nothing about?
それはレナも思うよ。他にも体操服とかスクール水着のお風呂とかも扱ってるの。そういうののお風呂はちょっと嫌だよね。
あんまり儲かってなさそうな商売だな。きっと少しでも儲けさせるためにミオンが一肌脱いでやってるんだろうな。
でもいつもミオンさんが自信満々に言いますのよ。今にきっと大ブレイクしてすごい商売になるって。
A second-hand clothing store that stocks school uniforms will be a big hit? I don't get it. Alrighty. Exit. Let's save. I'll just save over this one. Yeah. Okay. Close. Continue. I took it a little too easy on the morning of my day off. I was totally late. And to top it off, that pesky mom of mine kept pushing a return journey errand on me just as I'm trying to leave the house. Today was the day Rena and Mion were going to show me around Hinamizawa. Rena and Mion were already waiting at the meeting place. Hang on, I want to check something really quickly. I was just thinking it'd be nice to have the game, like in the YouTube thing. I forgot to put it in. I was thinking about doing it. For higurashi. Which one is this? Higurashi. Chapter 1. Onikakushi. Let's see. Onikakushi. Oh, this is from 2002. See. Okay, yay. Okay. And then on Mion, we're already waiting at the meeting place. Oh, oopsie. Let's skip through that. Kei-chan, you're late.
女の子との待ち合わせに遅刻して言い訳がそれってわけ？
みーちゃんだって。
Oh, so Mion's wearing pants. She's not to school, I guess.
ゆうべの密着24時間面白かったし、ねえ。
She was just as guilty as me. Ren was carrying a pretty heavy-looking handbag. What is that? Mion answered my unspoken question with a wink. Wink. That's right. Rena really did make a picnic. Wow.
姉ちゃん、あの後レナ大張り切りだったらしいよ。
別に俺がけしかけたわけじゃないだろう。
そんな大変じゃなかったから気にしないでよね。
ゆうべから今朝まであのテンションらしいよ。責任取れんの？
わかった。俺も男だ。
俺も男だ。
責任ってなんだろう。
As we both turned around slowly to look at Rena, our gazes drifted downwards to the massive handbag she was carrying. It didn't seem logically feasible that it would be entirely filled with lunchboxes. Except this was Rena we were talking about here.
2キロくらい。
2 kilograms? Huh?
レナね、荷物持つときよっこらしょって言ってた。5キロ。
うわ
それはオーバー。
5 kilograms.
ケイチ君男の子だからきっといっぱい食べるだろうと思ってたくさんね。もう行こう。よっこらよっ。
うわ Nana is strong! Just from the way she was lifting it up, I couldn't believe the only things in there were lunch boxes.
先生俺も5キロ
手伝いはするけど全部食べるんだからね。レナを悲しませたら許さないよ。
The only thing I could do at the moment was exercise a bit to make myself hungrier. Having finished with the pleasantries, we began our leisurely stroll. I don't mean to derail, but please look at the YouTube vid I sent you later. Okay, will do. A carefree walk bathed in the gentle morning sunlight. I couldn't have even imagined something so wholesome existed during my time in the city. These were the boonies after all. No slovenly desk jockeys trudging to work on the weekends out here. It really was a nice place, peaceful and quiet. As sparsely populated as the village was, you could still run into people just by walking around.
こんにちは。
こんにちは。あら、そちらは。確か前原くんだったかしら。
Villager has a nice voice. Ah, pretty voice. My two companions exchanged greetings to everybody we ran across. All of these passerbys even knew my name.
なんで俺ってこんなに有名人なんだ
We passed 3 people, and when all 3 of them knew me, I started to feel a bit paranoid.
悲しいかな。hinamizawaは人が少ないからね。
つまりなんだ知らない顔が歩いてればそれは自動的に新しく引っ越してきた前原さんってことになるわけか。
うん、そういうことになるね。
It was a process of elimination you could only pull off in a place like this, but it was quite effective. From now on, I better make sure to maintain a good reputation. The day I'm discovered accidentally gawking at a dirty magazine in the bookstore, I can expect all the villagers labeling me as a lech by the next day. Hinamizawa is not to be trifled with. That's not the end of this nightmare.
もちろんわかるよ。最初に会ったのが牧野林店の竹蔵おじさん。趣味は盆栽と尺八なんだよ。
次が乾物屋の次男の大輔くん。趣味は狙撃で将来の夢は超永久スナイパーだとか。
What?
それで今の人は入江診療所の看護師の美代さん。趣味は野鳥の観察と撮影だって。
すれ違った全員の名前までわかるのかよ。プロフィールまで。
Profil mare. Seeing my surprise, Mion and Nena exchanged looks and burst into laughter.
はあね。ここいらは都会みたいにご近所付き合いが希薄じゃないからね。
試しに聞いてみよう。今ここにいる俺は誰だ
前原圭一くん。意地悪なこと言うけど本当は優しいテレ屋さん。
転校してきてようやく3週間。趣味は昼寝。
昼寝。
最近トランクス派に転向したよね。
もういいもういい
トランクス。
それもいい
Apparently there's absolutely nothing you can keep hidden here. Hinamizawa was not a place to be trifled with.
これじゃあさ俺のための案内ってより俺のお披露目みたいだな
そうだね。うちらさこれだけ賑やかに練り歩いてたからね。みんな思うんじゃない？ケイちゃんもhinamizawaに馴染んでくれたんだって。
hinamizawaは過疎だから村中みんなが新しい仲間を歓迎してくれてるの。
I thought about brushing it off with something to the effect of, "You're kidding me," but I held back. Had I ever greeted someone who just moved into the city like this before? Thinking about that made me believe what they said wasn't a joke at all. We passed another person. Of course, we were called out to, again the same way.
あら、こんにちは。仲良しそうでいいわね。
藤島さんちのおばさんだよ。こんにちは。
あら、前原くん、両手からでいいわね。どう？生活はもう慣れた？
Instead of regurgitating a prepared response like I would have in the city, I responded with an emphatic nod. The old woman chuckled, voicing her appreciation of how energetic I was.
グッド。
Good though. As I looked back over to Dena and Mion, they gave me a wink.
でね、そろそろ お昼にしないかなかな。
Rena's brilliant smile signaled the approach of an event that both Mion and I were trying to forget. We both looked at each
俺
other.
も男だ努力はするだが量が多すぎる
よしケイちゃん、ここはおじさんに任せなさい。
Mion has never seemed as reliable as she does right now. I'd expect no less from the class representative.
レナ、どうせ食べるならさ、見晴らしのいいところで食べない？
それいい。賛成。
Rena nodded her head happily in response to Mion's proposal. Oh, a nice picnic with a view? Oh. Cresting the top of a stone stairway, a shrine drawn straight out of my imagination appeared before us. It had worn down a bit through the years, but the fallen leaves had been swept up, giving it a tidy feeling.
ここはね、古出神社っていうの。多分見晴らしが一番いいところかな。
ここの場所、よく覚えといてね。もうすぐここでお祭りがあるんだから。
へえ祭りにしちゃちょっと早いシーズンだよな
綿流しは夏祭りじゃなくてね、昔は冬の終わりを喜ぶお祭りだったらしいよ。
I was embarrassed for assuming that festivals had to be held in the summer.
さて、弁当を広げてっと。
Various colored lunchboxes were placed, one after the other on top of the plastic sheet. It sure did smell delicious. It was Lena's home cooking. It went without saying that it would be delicious. But is it even possible to finish all of this? Hey, Mion, it'll take more than just a good view to get this all down, you know?
こんにちはです。
Wow, it was Dika-chan and Satoko. Why are they here? Mion grinned over at me. I see. This is her secret plan. The power in numbers! You have my thanks, Mion. Following up when all the pieces are in place is my specialty.
騒がしいから来てみれば、これは何ですの？
見りゃわかるだろこれからランチタイムだ
ランチタイムだ。
ビュッフェスタイルだレナの手作り弁当に舌鼓だ
そんなの見ればわかるでございますわ。どうして人様の庭でご座なんか広げてますの？
神社は公共の場所だぞ勝手に独占するな
圭一の言う通りですよ。みんなのお庭にしますです。
やっぱりリカちゃんはいい子だな座りなそこ一緒に食べよう
After opening up a spot for Rika-chan, I promptly turned my back on Satoko.
ちょっとお待ちなさいな。私はどこに座ればいいんですの？
お前に座る場所はないし食べる分もない
大丈夫だよ。さとこちゃんの分もちゃんとあるから。
ないさとこの分も俺がいただく
そんなことは許せませんの。リカ。はい、お箸です。
Both Satoko and I leapt up the boxes, having it out with each other.
いやはや、ケイちゃん乗せるのうまいわほんと。才能あるのかもしれない。
はい、お皿。みーちゃんも、リカちゃんも。
Then I whipped out pairs of chopsticks and paper plates.
僕たちも頑張らないとなくなってしまうです。
そうだね。よし、参戦と行くかな。
いっぱい食べてね。ちゃんとみんなの分あるから。
Lena said as she opened up a thermos. Just then, I realized that this lunch was made under the assumption that 5 people would be eating. It didn't change how much there was, but the implication behind it was different.
その話は渡しませんわ。
This drawing? This is Keiichi, huh? Just being launched into the air.
反則だろさとこ
襟首をつかむのも反則でございます。
It was a tough battle, blocking with her full momentum and an elbow in the opening moves. Satoko appeared to have the upper hand, but the difference in our proficiency with chopsticks proved to be fatal and gave me the upper hand.
最後のミートボール。
校長さとこ破れたり
Satoko and I amiably began choking at the same time, falling backwards and spasming. Nika-chan patted me on the head to clear it, even though it was actually stuck in my throat. Seeing that made Dena blush and breathe heavily in excitement. It was almost like flowers were floating all around her. Mion advised Dena to refrain from saying anything that could get her locked up. This is how our meals usually go. I'd do anything in my power, just so things could stay like this. Bum bum bum. The intense battle calmed, and finally everyone reached a point where they could begin talking. Receiving tea from the thermos, I let out a small
日
sigh.
本語ってやつはさどうしてこう味に対する賛辞が少ないんだろうな。
食事中の団らんって考えがそもそも近代に入ってからだからじゃない？
昔の人は無言で食事を済ませたそうだし、作る人もちょっぴり寂しかったろうね。きっと昔の人は食べるのに忙しく味を褒める暇もなかったのですわ。
That's just you.
でもね、美味しいの一言だけでも嬉しいよ。苦労の甲斐があったかなって。
I understand that feeling. She blushed a little as she said that.
美味しいです。
With absolutely perfect timing, Nika-chan struck Dena directly with praise. She looked straight at her with an expression of bewitching innocence.
Huh?
After Dena uttered that sound effect, an unintelligible noise, a ring of smoke rose from her head with an audible poof.
リカちゃん、お持ち帰りじゃなくて、ありがとう。本当に美味しかったですよ。
Dena flushed red with excitement, embracing Nika-chan and rubbing her cheek against her so hard you could almost hear it.
リカちゃんには褒めてもらったお礼に、じゃーん、これをサービスね。
Two apple rabbits. After sticking toothpicks into them, she thrust them toward Nika-chan. After Nika-chan accepted them, the mood suddenly shifted in a bizarre way.
なんだよサトコ、その挑戦的な目は。
皆さんにはレナさんのリンゴを獲得できるだけの賛辞が用意できまして。
強気じゃんよ。ボキャ品のあんたにどんな賛辞が思いつくっての？
Weak vocab.
ではご覧あそばせ。
After Satoko flashed Mion and me a defiant look, she changed the tone of her voice suddenly.
あのね、レナお姉ちゃんのお弁当、サトコも美味しかったよ。
Satoko looked up at her proudly while talking cutesy. What? How is that praise? That's not even persuasion by tears, that's persuasion by cuteness, isn't it? This is a Dena limited special skill. She blushed and her head spun, waving around in circles. Don't fall for it! Dena! Of course, that was asking for the impossible. Dena glomped. Dena glomped Satoko and began rubbing her cheek against her.
サトコちゃんもかいよ。お持ち帰り。
Swish, stab, push. Satoko was also presented with apple rabbits. After stuffing them into her mouth, she looked over at Mion and me again with that defiant gaze. It only took 5 seconds to take down Dena. That's unfair! To think she had such a trick!
悔しければレナさんにご褒美がもらえるような賛辞をお考え遊ばせ。
Damn it! That was a dirty trick! First of all, that wasn't even praise!
サトコ、それで勝てたつもりとはね。あんたらの底の浅い技とはわけが違うものを見せてあげようじゃない。
それは頼もしいぜミオ。それはどんな技なんだ？
やるのはケイちゃん。
は
あ
見せてもらおうでは答えませんか。豊島のあがきを。
Writhing of an old maid. The plan of attack she suggested was wicked, but it was the only thing we had to beat Satoko. After sipping my tea, I started talking, very naturally and calmly. Perfectly.
本当に美味しいよな。これってさ、全部手作りなのかい？
実はね、これほとんど冷凍物なの。
じゃあ レナの手作りのってどれだい？
その恥ずかしいな。教えなきゃダメ？どうしても？
From the synergy of boy plus handmade lunchbox, her expression had melted into
わかるよ
euphoria.
これでしょ。
Then it turned an even deeper shade of red. The words, I can't believe it, practically written on her face.
なんでわかるかな？レナの手作り。
Of course, Mion had told me beforehand. It's been perfect so far. After acting like I was shy, I waited a beat. Next would be the finisher.
レナの匂いがしたから。
Silence enveloped the area. The negative inverting. Then face still completely red, froze solid. With a small yelp, Satoko also blushed. Of course, I did
レナ
too.
の手作りのリンゴのウサギさんが食べたいななんて。
Even if this was all because I was competing against Satoko, it felt like I had crossed the line by a good 9 yards, I think. Then, at that moment, whoosh! It was the Tupperware container filled with rabbits.
いっぱいあるんだよね。
But yeah, instantly, dozens of the apples were shoved into my mouth, knocking me over.
ケイチくん。
My head was forcibly laid upon her lap, and even more apples were shoved into my mouth. While she was squealing, one apple after another was forced in my mouth. More and more apples.
ケイちゃん殉職見事ね。どうよサトコ。
A beautiful sacrifice indeed.
うちらの完全勝利だね。
こんな手信じられないですの。悔しくないもん。
Satoko ground her teeth, mortified. We did it! I claimed victory as my consciousness drifted slowly away from me. At that time, Nana stopped her squealing as she suddenly realized something.
リコちゃん食べないの？塩水強すぎたかな？かな？
Looking over, Rika-chan had pulled the toothpick out of the apple rabbit, placed it into her cupped hands, and seemed to be at a loss for what to do.
うさぎさんがかわいそうです。助けてあげてほしいです。
Whee! That was the sound of blood spurting from Nana's nose.
かわいいよ。今夜こそ絶対本持ち帰り。
She shook sporadically, her head wobbling back and forth. Then, coming back to her senses, she took all of the apples around me, gathered them up with a whoop whoop whoop, and fixed them back up on a plate.
これでみんな寂しくないよね。リカちゃんにあげる。ね。
Nika-chan raised up Satoko's hand like a referee after having that plate of rabbit shoved to her. She whispered,
僕たちが勝ちましたです。
Trickery!
あ
Thus, my sacrifice ended up being in vain. Oh. Alright, it's 8, so I guess I'll stop here for today then. Let's see. Save and load. Save over this one. It was a fun-filled, crazy day. Okay, and then clicking. Yes. Alright, also thank you. Alright, bye bye. See you later. Ah.